charts. This was what was on your quiz. Most of you did very well on it. What is this one pointing to?
Seed coat.
Yes, it is called the seed coat. Okay, this is a
Baby plant.
baby plant, and this is
Stored food.
Yeah, and a lot of you had trouble with spelling the word stored. How do you spell store?
STORED.
No, I asked how do you spell store?
STORED.
E. You need an E, and most of you forgot that. And remember, we just learned the rule in our reading book that you drop the E when you add the ED, so it's STORED. Alright, and a lot of you just spelled it STORD. Alright, STORED, stored food. So, seed coat, baby plant, stored food. Alright, the other thing you're going to need to know is the parts of a flowering plant. I'll hold it up higher, or back more. Alright, this is a flower.
Leaves.
And that is so easy that even probably a little kindergartner could do it, maybe even a preschooler, right? Alright, now you also need to know the process by which a plant makes its own food. That is
Photosynthesis.
and there are 4 things needed in that process of photosynthesis. The first one is
Sunlight.
they refer to it as sunlight energy, right? Sunlight energy. And also
Water. Chlorophyll.
what is chlorophyll?
The green stuff.
Don't call it green stuff.
The green
The green material found in plants. And then what is this coming from the air?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. And remember we learned that it gives off oxygen, which is what people and animals breathe. So we are breathing out carbon dioxide, which the plants need, and that's part of photosynthesis. Okay? And there's also, besides water, there is also minerals in the soil that the roots are absorbing. That's why they put minerals here, because the roots are absorbing the water and the minerals. But the water, sunlight energy, chlorophyll, and carbon dioxide are the 4 things needed for the process by which a plant makes food, and that is photosynthesis. There were several of you that did not know that on the quiz yesterday. The process by which a plant makes food, photosynthesis. All right, let's start on page 118. We're going to start talking about trees today. All right, let's do the terms to remember first. So sit up. Conifer, that is conifer. Conifer forest. A forest contains many needle trees bearing cones. All right, so if it has needles for leaves and it has cones, that's a conifer. So how many of you know what I'm talking about? A tree that has needles instead of leaves, like pine needles, pine trees, Christmas trees. You understand? Well, then you should be raising your hand because you would know what I'm talking about.
No.
All right, and pine cones, okay? And there's different kinds, sizes of pine cones. All right, then there's a temperate forest. A forest that grows in temperate climates with leaves that change by season. So that's what you see around here, isn't it? Now we have conifers too, but we have the temperate forest where the leaves are changing colors in the fall. The last one is tropical rainforest, a forest that grows in tropical climates. All right, the forest. Perhaps there is no better place to observe plants than in a forest. A forest has many kinds of trees growing closely together. As we explore the forest, we will observe a variety of plant life. Different plants, large and small, work together to make a forest. We name types of forests by the climate they are found in and the kinds of trees that grow in them. Read the verse first. Let the field be joyful and all that is therein, then shall all the trees of the wood rejoice. Psalm 96:12. All right, top of page 119. Now we're going to start talking about the kinds of forests. Can you see the root word cone in conifer? You see how that word cone is in the word conifer? Again, it doesn't have the whole word, it doesn't have C-O-N-E, but cone, conifer. Okay.
Besides the eye.
A conifer forest contains many kinds of trees having cones, such as pine trees. A pine tree does not make flowers. Its seeds are held in cones instead of fruit. Instead of wide leaves, a pine tree has narrow leaves called needles. So those needles are its leaf. Okay? Conifer forests are often found in colder climates, but they are always green. In fact, pine trees are often called evergreen trees. How many of you have heard them called that before? An evergreen tree. Usually what you use at Christmas time. Because are other trees still green? Not usually, right? They've already either trees are orange and yellow and red and already changed colors, or sometimes they've even fallen off the tree. And you wouldn't want that kind of tree, would you? All right, then we have a temperate forest. Grows in temperate climates having 4 seasons. Its trees have leaves that change colors in autumn. In wintertime, tree branches are bare, but in springtime, new leaves begin to bud for the flourishing summer season. All right, and they show a lot of leaves there changing colors in that picture. Last of all, we have a tropical rainforest. Grows in tropical climates where there is much rain. A rainforest is thick with plants or vegetation. You may find palm trees with large leaves there. Some trees in the rainforest have waxy leaves with grooves and special tips to help rainwater drip to the ground. Turn the page. All right. This is something that you can do. You can bring in either some pine needles, a little branch with pine needles, or you can bring in different leaves that you find outside, okay? This is the time of year to bring in interesting leaves. So if you bring them in, I'll let you share them with the class. And if you can, try to find out what tree it's from, if you can. All right, true or false? A forest is made of only trees. False. It's made of many different kinds of plants. The main plant in it is the tree, but there are also smaller plants too, right?
Mm-hmm.
A pine tree has cones instead of flowers.
True.
Very good. Conifer forests are usually found in hot climates.
False.
It said cold climates. In fact, where it stays really, really cold, a lot of times all they have, all the trees they have is the conifers, because they can withstand the cold. All right, number 4. A temperate forest has trees with leaves that change color in the autumn.
True.
That is true. We only have the conifer forest, which is the ones with the pine trees, the ones with cones, and then the tropical forest. Tropical is where it's hot and it rains a lot. So the only one left is temperate. Temperate, where we have the seasons. So a temperate forest has trees with leaves that change color in the autumn. That is true. A tropical rainforest grows in areas where there is very little rain.
False.
Where there is a lot
Lots
of
of
rain.
rain.
All right, very good.